The FDR Memorial is one of the most interesting presidential monuments in the United States of America. The person this memorial is for, Franklin D. Roosevelt, was one of our most admired presidents whose legacy is perfectly represented in this monument. First, let's start with some facts about the well-established man that is being memorialized through this cultivated monument. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was born in Hyde Park, New York on January 30th, 1882. In 1900, Roosevelt matriculated in Harvard University and 3 years later received his A.B. In 1904, he enrolled into Columbia Law School and a year later married Eleanor Roosevelt. Later, he went on to become governor of New York, after which he went on to become President of the United States. He served his first term from 1933 to 1936. FDR's second, third, and fourth terms in office were all within World War II. In fact, he was the president that brought us into World War II and even stayed in office until the end. Speaking of accomplishments, FDR also got the US out of the Great Depression in the 1930s. He's particularly famous for a quote which some of you may have heard of: "The only thing to fear is fear itself." From the topic of accomplishments, we'll go to less fortunate topics such as diseases. At the age of 39, Franklin Delano Roosevelt caught poliomyelitis, or polio for short. And if you didn't know, poliomyelitis, or polio, is a virus caused by the polio virus. Thanks, Google. So very helpful. But FDR didn't let that bother him, and he regained a little bit of power in his legs through swimming. After fun facts about the man himself, we're moving on into facts about the monument. The memorial was finished on September 16, 1991, 46 years after Roosevelt's death and the end of his fourth presidential term in office in April 1945. It took over 40 years of planning and building the monument's layout under Lawrence Halprin. It has 4 rooms, which each represent the 4 terms in office in which Franklin D. Roosevelt was elected. But don't make the same mistake I did, because they are not your regular 4-wall and a ceiling rooms. They're more like areas instead. There are many things this monument are unique for, 2 of which being that it's the only presidential monument to include a memorial for a First Lady, and also the only one to include a presidential pet, FDR's dog, Fala. I hope you learned at least one thing about the FDR Memorial, and if you're hearing this right now, this means you haven't collapsed on the floor and entered a state of exhaustion and deep sleep. Knowing that, you should probably check out one of my other videos because